princess back in her own bloody coin.
Must be my swordsmanship.
Can you even get that thing up?
Well enough for killing Blackwoods.
Put the boundary stones back.
We didn't move them.
Why did they move themselves then? Just rolled their way over so Bracken cows can fill their bellies on Blackwood grass?
The Assize at River.
Fuck the Assize. And fuck you. This is our land.
It's Bracken land. Babe killer.
What did you say?
Your false Queen Rhaenyra is a kinslayer.
Your uncle declared for Aegon.
Bracken land.
Did he? Well then,
Babe killer.
what did he tell you? Aegon Targaryen is no true king.
Your fault.
Just as you are no true knight. You're both craven, little gods! You wouldn't dare.
Basest of villains. He sullies the grave of his brother.
I cannot fault him for keeping his oath.
What of those who sent him?
Otto Hightower would never have allowed this. Hotter blood has prevailed, I think. The young men have taken the bit in their teeth. They wish to punish, to avenge. Soon they will not even remember what it was that began the war in the first place. That is easy enough. They usurped my throne. That is one answer. Or was it when the child was beheaded? Or when Aemond killed Luke? Or when Luke took Aemond's eye? We teeter now at the point where none of it will matter. When the desire to kill and burn takes hold and reason is forgotten. There may be another way.
When last we met, Alicent said I would make a fine queen. You've seen what has happened since then.
She came to me in the hours after your Lord Father's death. She knows war is coming, and that it will be savage beyond all compare. There is no war so hateful to the gods as a war between kin. And no war so bloody as a war between dragons. I do not believe she wants it.
She sent a raven. I do not care to read her message. What she did
It is not her, but the men around her who seek bloodshed.
she permitted it.
As you permitted the murder of a little boy in his bed. Alicent is in King's Landing. Her son sits my throne. There is nothing more to be said.
Well, Lord Hand. Only they'll be waiting.
Good morrow, your grace, my lords. Forgive my lateness.
Important business, no doubt.
You've appointed new knights to the King's Guard, your grace.
To replace those we lost.
The last one needlessly, some might say.
Sir Aric was awarded the great duty of ending Rhaenyra's challenge. He failed to discharge it.
He failed because the scheme was rash.
Perhaps, your grace, but we cannot all hide in our castles waiting for war to come to us.
As now it surely will.
As now, it already has. House Bracken took it upon themselves to attack the Blackwoods, who declared for the Pretender. Lord Samuel Blackwood himself is slain.
Good. First blood in our name.
Both sides took heavy losses, your grace. I'm not entirely certain we can declare this a victory.
The Blackwoods and the Brackens have feuded for centuries. This is nothing more than an excuse for them to indulge their ancient grudge. It's no true war.
Call it what you will. I call it war. And so will Dragonstone. The question is, what are we going to do about it? We send a raven to Lord Tully. These houses are his vassals, are they not? He must control them.
Lord Grover Tully is a flaccid old fool who couldn't control his cock and a cunning. Begging your pardon, your grace.
Do you have any better suggestions, Lord Jasper?
Your Lord Uncle Ormond marches from Old Town at the head of a great host, your grace. And your brother Darren's dragon nears fighting age. Call on them to suppress the Riverlands.
Alas, they are months away. My lord brother Jason is raising a great army at Castle Rock. In a matter of weeks, he will be able to harass the Blackwoods from the west.
Should we not aim to unite these armies and then strike as one?
Ah, the great military mind of the Citadel. Do remind me which link in your chain denotes the art of war.
This council must rediscover the discipline it lately had if it's to be of any use.
The Riverlands are the key to the war. Harrenhal is the key to the Riverlands. I will ride out with those I can muster here. Men I know, men are trained.
You need time to raise the numbers to challenge the Rivermen.
Speed is my ally. I will turn the Crown land houses who declared for Rhaenyra to our cause. We will add their numbers to our own and then turn west, where I will enlist the Brackens, subdue the Riverlands, and take Harrenhal.
So impatient to ride with so few men. So like to be destroyed by the first stronghold you meet. A bold scheme indeed.
Well, the gods favour the bold.
They did not favour Sir Aric.
What say you, my king?
And you'll take Aemond and Vhagar.
Vhagar will remain here to defend the city.
Good. To war, then. I'll come too with Sunfire.
Aegon.
Your grace.
You'll need a dragon.
My plan is not to draw attention.
And what will you do if you encounter one or more of Rhaenyra's dragons? She'll want to answer for Sir Aric.
We will be more like to encounter one if we field one of our own.
That is precisely why you must remain, brother. It's a brave thought. We cannot risk your loss.
I'm as fearsome as any of them.
back from your ship to bring warning.
I was not believed at first.
You saved my life.
What is the life of a queen worth these days?
You wish to be rewarded.
As I would think you would wish to reward me.
What price would you set?
A place at your court.
You said your earnest desire was to flee Westeros.
And you let me go. You showed me grace when you could have withheld it. I'm not often surprised.
One turn for another, then.
I know the workings of the Red Keep and the movements of those who serve there. That is worth more than gold to you now.
So she will have one. Aegon and Viserys will accompany him until a place of greater safety can be found.
KeyzbeatzX hatchling and Stormcloud.
I want you to go with them. The Red Keep is in disarray. They have sent one assassin in the night, and their dragons are ever a short flight away. You must take the little ones further. To Pentos, I think.
When my mother died.
It is safer than anywhere in Westeros. Write to Prince Reggio. If he will have you, then go to him. I am sorry to put this upon you. It breaks my heart to send my boys away, not knowing when I will see them again. But you have seen what may befall them here. Rhaena, I need you to be the mother to them that I cannot. Teach them, train them, guard them as a dragon guards her eggs.
And my sister?
I need Bailey here.
Because she has a dragon?
I cannot promise to make you happy, but I ask you, make this sacrifice willingly. For all of us.
Your Grace.
My brother, Sir Gawain Hightower, arrived last night. mother, Sir Gawain Hightower, arrived last night from Eltown.
Sir Kristen. Mayhaps I should say, my Lord Hand.
Sir Gawain, welcome to King's Landing.
How exhilarating to arrive at court after 3 long months on the road to find my Lord Father, who served 3 kings faithfully, unseated as hand of king. And by a man from such modest beginnings. What a giddying ascent the gods have bestowed on you.
Sir Gawain has volunteered to accompany you into battle.
We have a full complement, Your Grace.
Then you shall have a fuller one.
The march will be hard, sir.
No one is more delighted than I to march out to war with the Dornishmen. Sister.
May the Seven guide you. Good night. And lead you not into shadow and death.
I thank Your Grace for her prayers. And request that she grant her favor. That her Lord Commander may go into battle with her blessings in his heart. Your Grace.
Still no sightings. No men, no horses, no ships, no dragons.
Good. Then we must seize the hour and act before our enemy does. They have penetrated our castle walls, and now the Riverlands are aflame after the Battle of the Burning Mill. How fares Prince Daemon with our army?
There has been no word from Prince Daemon, Your Grace.
Then we must press what advantage we do have.
And what is that?
Dragons. Send them all out. Start turning green strongholds to our cause and burn those who resist.
No. If dragons begin fighting dragons, we invite our own destruction. Fear of it is in itself a weapon. The Greens will make the same calculation.
The value of a sword is not within its scabbard.
We will secure victory with armies, not with dragons alone. The Greens understand that. The Vale and the North will send men. We must give Daemon time.
Your Grace, you have witnessed firsthand just how vulnerable you are. Prince Daemon is abroad, and Aegon's factions are enraged at the death of his son. You have never been so exposed.
Perhaps it is time for you to think about secreting yourself somewhere safe, while we remain here as a source of distraction for the enemy.
You propose to conduct the war in my absence?
It would merely be a precaution.
It would be treason. You are fortunate you took it no further.
This council would do well to remember that their queen wears the crown of my grandsire, Jaehaerys the Conciliator, a prudent ruler, the wisest of Targaryen kings whose reign outlasted every other, even Aegon the Conqueror's.
So how do they fare, the ditherers of Dragonstone?
This council would do well to remember that their queen wears the crown of my grandsire, Jaehaerys the Conciliator. A prudent ruler, the wisest of Targaryen kings whose reign outlasted every other. Even Aegon the Conqueror's.
So how do they fare, the ditherers of Dragonstone?
Nearest counsel is wayward. She has a hard task. I must hope she will rise to it. But I fear she'll need you by her side sooner than late.
This bread still warm.
There's broth too, I made sure of it.
I am no longer an invalid. Then we must...
Persuade her of the urgency of our need.
Go safely, sister. I will be safe enough. Far away from any danger with only babes to nurse me.
You do a great service, and may yet find yourself glad to be out of harm's way.
Do not coddle me, Bela. Grant me at least that dignity.
I meant no insult. We each do what we can. And here, I think, is some consolation.
Tyraxes and Stormcloud are young and vulnerable. These eggs are even more fragile. But should all come to ruin here, you will bear our hope for the future.
Your Grace. Sad about Jaehaerys, but I ought not to, I think. As people die all the time. I feel sad about Jaehaerys. Sad about Jaehaerys, but I ought not to, I think. As people die all the time, especially babes. They're so little, so they're taken so easily.
Sadness is a condition of motherhood.
There's not to be gained from it. That horrid procession where the small folk all stared at me. I warrant they thought I had no more right to grief than they do. Surely they lose their babes more than highborn ladies.
The stranger comes for us all. Queen and commoner. You have as much claim to grief as anyone.
And you?
I love Jaehaerys, but my concern has been more for you than what you have endured. Elaine,
I forgive you.
What?
I said that I forgive you.
Suits you, Your Grace. Valyrian steel, worth more than a castle.
A sight to stir the passions. Aegon the Conqueror reborn.
Just get on with it.
At once, Your Grace.
What is your business?
There are rumors that the king readies himself to fly to war.
And what is it to you?
Only that I think it would benefit all of us to prevent our king from being brutally slain by our enemies and his body parts scattered to beasts and his court come to ruin. Cannot agree. What exquisite armor.
I was given the Conqueror's name and his crown, so I shall wear his armor to war. I fly to meet Sir Criston.
Small imposition before you depart, then, Your Grace. There are diverse rumors whispered in the streets of your city. One such is that Your Grace sends his forces to battle, and in his courage and wisdom fly.
Who spreads these lies?
Most little. Tales take on a life of their own. Like weeds, unless they are tended.
Tend to them then. Lord Laris, my father always said he had no use for a master of whisperers. And yet, I find myself wanting for one. I should be glad of your talents.
You honor me, Your Grace.
Shall we escort you to the Dragon Pit, Your Grace?
I think mayhaps I shall fly another day.
It does seem wise on reflection.
You can come out with us, my king. Sir Martin has a new squire that wants bedding in.
He's never fucked a woman.
But you're sworn to chastity now.
Of course, Your Grace.
Yes, Your Grace.
her sister. No one's ever told me. You live in her. I know. Take that. You get your hand. Sit yourself down, eh? I've been telling this a lot about you.
Lads, I've had quite a day of it. Yeah? Not sure I'm much for talking. Although, you know, a wet whistle works wonders.
Sense of fun, sort of. Are you man of dawn?
Dawnish, are you? Yes, I am. The part of Westeros my house never settled. Although it said even dawn mourned the passing of my grandsire. Is that so? Who was your grandsire?
They call him the Conciliator.
King Jaehaerys. Thousand apologies. Please. Continue.
Look, I really shouldn't be telling you this. It could cost me my head.
You are saying you're a Targaryen.
I'm the son of Balon the Brave.
Bastard brother to Prince Daemon.
And the late King Viserys. Uncle to the one true queen, Rhaenyra Targaryen. The blood of the dragon runs through these veins, and yes, men would take my head for it. A dragon seed must watch his own neck when he has no white-cloaked guardsman to do it for him.
You do not look very much like King Viserys. Or Prince Daemon.
How do you know what they look like?
He speaks truth right enough. Look, you can tell. By his hair. Because I'm their half-brother, you fuckwits. Right. Yeah, I'll tell you who else doesn't have silver hair. The rightful heir to the Iron Throne, my nephew, Prince Jaehaerys Velaryon.
He's your other nephew.
All hail the king! All hail the king! Drinks for all! At the pleasure of the crown! Sit down. Sit yourself down. Sit! Drink the wine. Take the lid. Come on, then! It's nice.
Did I tell you I came here as a lad? It's a little tame, but a good a place as any to get it wet. I know, just the tutor for you, my boy. No. She's worth 3 times the price. Oh, God's me good. That's you. Her name is, Sylvie, or Celsi, or I don't know, something like that. Aemon the Fierce! You have come so far, and yet you still lie with your very first. What a fine, sweet thing. Did you fuck her like a hound? Woo! 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 You see, I do not exaggerate. Such is the madam's prowess that even now my brother will not sample another. Hard luck for your squire, though. As you can see, she's now very much occupied. Your squire is welcome to her. One whore is as good as another.
march to make the first strike in the name of His Grace.
I assure you, my nephew will not begrudge me a night of comfort. If it soothes your brow, Cole, we will rendezvous with your army at first light. Or if their wine is good, perhaps a little after first light.
We're exposed.
What? Cole?
Get to the trees!
They'll be hunting. We must move under the trees and by cover of dark starting tonight. And no fucking inns.
Sir Kristen Cole. With some half-dozen other knights, I'm sure of it. Perhaps a scout party for a greater army.
Ravens confirming your grace. Lord Founders reported a larger force moving northeast towards Rosby.
Could you be certain it was Cole from such a great height?
It was not such a great height, Your Grace. You said not to engage, so I didn't. Exactly.
Your Grace, we commend the Lady Baylor for her sharp eyes, but we can tarry no longer. The time for action is surely now.
Your Grace, I must agree, and request your permission to return to Rook's Rest and fortify my lands.
Shouldn't fret, Lord Simon. They'll be making for Harrenhal.
'Tis Prince Damon who ought to worry.
Prince Damon has Caraxes.
Cole will look to increase his numbers, and he may call upon a dragon of his own.
This is why you must act now, Your Grace. Loose the dragons, root Cole out, and burn him.
I have heard your arguments, and will consider them.
die in this place.
Thank you, Elinda.
Your Grace.
What do you know of the movements of Alicent Hightower?
Would you take her hostage? Or kill her outright?
I would speak with her myself.
Killing her would be easier.
If war can be averted, it is my duty to avert it. I have reason to believe she may be of the same opinion. She sent a raven. She has expressed her remorse.
I can have a message brought to her, in secret.
She would not agree to it. She would suspect some subterfuge. As would I if I received such a message. I must see her, face to face.
She is the Queen Dowager. She goes nowhere without many eyes watching her. Unless it is fraught.
Speak it.
There are fishing boats plenty in the bay. The city depends on them. Damon made the journey unhindered.
But if I'm recognized,
You may be surprised to learn it, but most folk pay no mind to a woman who has not dressed as a queen or lured herself with the eyes of men.
so I make my way to the Red Keep, I presume, and ring the bell. Or do I scale the wall and enter her window?
There is one place Alicent goes, outside the castle walls. You may yet find her alone.
And then what?
I've gone badly. We watched the tourney together, you and I, the day my brother was born. We knew even then that men trained up for battle are eager to fight, to see blood and glory. But you, I know you do not have that desire within you. Rhaenys has counselled me. She said she saw in you a wish to avert the worst of what may now come.
So you've come to surrender then?
I have come to see if we may uncover some path towards peace. My dragons are restless, they smell battle. But if you and I may come to terms...
There are no terms now. You have no army. Your allies turn from you and they hear of your depravity. Your hands are bloody to no crime. I could never have imagined you.
The trespass was not mine. I will think what you will. I am a mother too, and you have yet to answer for the murder of my son.
I repudiate that act with all my heart.
Of course you do. From usurping my rightful inheritance. Have you now stooped so low that you will countenance the suffering and death of thousands in order that your feckless son...
Your father changed his mind.
Oh, so you say. And so your father has proclaimed the realm. I saw the king that night. Mere hours before I left him, he had affirmed my right to the throne. A right he upheld steadfastly every day of his life after my mother died. And yet you will maintain that his mind was changed in an instant. I will. You lie. My father loved me, Alicent. And I believe he loved you, too. Did you betray him at the very last? When was your plan first laid? Was your ambition so keen?
He changed his mind, Rhaenyra. He changed his mind. I swear this to you on the memory of my mother. I have been at times unkind, but never untrue. I pronounced before all gathered in that room that you would make a fine queen. Do you think me capable of such naked deceit?
What did he say at the end? Did he speak my name? He was weary. It was hard at times to understand. But he spoke Ekon's name. He said he was the prince that was promised to unite the realm. What? I desire peace as you do, but to preserve... Did my father use those words? The prince that was promised? Did he? Yes, he did.
You can prevent this, Alison. A terrible war is looming, and even victory may be so bloody as to be counted a loss. Do not let your pride blind you. There's blood. No mistake. My father is gone from court. Collie's on the march, Eamon. You know what Eamon is? It's too late, Rhaenyra. Alison.
It's a really outlandish risk to try and go to Allison and say we are the only two people left at either of these councils that have the power, influence, and desire to see about a peaceful end to this thing.
Your false Queen Rhaenyra is a kinslayer. Your uncle declared for Aegon, did he? Aegon Targaryen is no true king.
The Brackens and the Blackwoods are ancient foes and rivals. One of the big ideas about this series was generational conflict. That's the standing of the Blackwoods and the Brackens when we first find them, which is a sort of microcosm of where House Targaryen is getting to.
They happen to have the two largest armies in the Riverlands. It's 40,000 swords if they all come together under one banner.
I will enlist the Brackens, subdue the Riverlands, and take Harrenhal.
Bold scheme indeed.
Well, the gods favour the bold.
They did not favour Sir Eric.
One of the pivotal scenes is the first day of Cole's work as Hand. We've always seen Cole as a strong, brooding guy. And this was a moment to peel back all those layers and understand what he's like alone in a room with himself.
It's such a massively anxiety-inducing day for him because the Hand of the King is a diplomat's role, and he's always been sworn protector to the Queen. Now that duty of care has been passed on to someone else, and suddenly all eyes are on him. That's a very nerve-wracking thing.
Cole is a terrible choice to be Hand of the King. Aegon's ultimate goal is to have someone who is a feared warrior but not a great politician because he doesn't want to be outshone.
To war, then. I'll come too with Sunfire.
Aegon.
Your Grace.
Aegon has this insecurity that drives a great sense of confidence.
I'm as fearsome as any of them.
In this case, he wants to wear the king's armor. He wants to visually push himself forward as a leader.
Aegon is not thinking tactically. He's being impulsive. It's the same old trends in him. His self-awareness is growing, and not in a good way for him because he's becoming more aware of how much of a fraud he is. And it's eating him from the inside out.
Daemon, in the most base of ways, has a fight with his wife, gets in his car, and runs off to Harrenhal to conquer it.
Daemon has gone in his wisdom to try and make amends, I think. We've got to go and march on King's Landing. We need an army, and at the moment we don't really have an army.
Daemon is hoping to meet some resistance in there. He's looking for it, but he's frustrated in the fact that he can't find it because the castle is so poorly occupied.
I'm claiming Harrenhal.
Apparently so.
Simon Strong is Lionel Strong's uncle. He has no loyalty to his family because he is a man of honor and believes that Larys burned his family.
Daemon comes in ahead of steam, and all Sir Simon wants to do is have peace.
The most interesting part of the Harrenhal story is what it does to Daemon. He starts to have these hallucinations, these dreams. He's not sure what's real and not real. We know that there is a magicality, and all of a sudden he sees young Rhaenyra, and she means something to him. She meant something at that age, and it also told him that it was a dream.
His past is coming back to haunt him in broad daylight.
The real idea was to bring Daemon into contact with something in the supernatural world that he could not deny.
I've decided to send Joffrey to ward with my cousin, Lady Jane Arryn. Aegon and Viserys will accompany him. I want you to go with them.
Rhaenyra's made this immediate calculation that her family is unsafe. I mean, they got to her in her home, and there's nothing to say that they can't again. I think she sends away her youngest and most vulnerable children to protect them in a place where they're hidden away and hopefully where they can weather the war.
The endless risk of losing one of your children, I think she perceives to be hideously compromising while she's in that grieving process. There's a decision to try and dislocate herself from her own motherhood. I cannot promise to make you happy, but I ask you, make this sacrifice willingly. For all of us. Your Grace.
I think being in a family that has so much power and feeling so powerless, it's heartbreaking when you have such a want to help. It's like confirmation to Rhaena of what she's always feared, that everyone just thinks she's pathetic.
She's also the daughter of Daemon Targaryen and Laena Velaryon, and there's a fire burning in her as well. It's really lit by that resentment of being sent on this mission she regards as a bit demeaning.
You do a great service, and may yet find yourself glad to be out of harm's way.
Do not coddle me, Baela. Grant me at least that dignity.
I meant no insult.
Rhaena's definitely got some bitterness and jealousy towards Baela, but I think in awe of her. There's always going to be such a love there. Very classic for sisters.
Should all come to ruin here, you will bear our hope for the future.
She also sends away the 3 eggs that Daemon discovered from Syrax's clutch in season 1 and the egg of young Viserys Targaryen as an insurance policy so that all of her eggs are not in the singular Dragonstone basket, hoping that while Lady Jane Arryn wants an adult dragon to defend the Vale, the sons of House Targaryen and multiple dragon eggs will do the job.
What do you know of the movements of Alicent Hightower?
Rhaenyra sees what's coming. She's trying to put an end to it and to beseech Alicent to help her see that through. She sees it as her job as sovereign to risk herself before she risks the lives of possibly millions of the realm.
It's quite a chaotic choice. But Rhaenyra also wants to look the person who's caused her such pain in the face.
When Rhaenyra and Alicent come together, they're right back to that moment where Viserys died.
He changed his mind. I've been at times unkind, but never untrue.
She has to reckon for the first time with the idea that possibly her father changed his mind, that she lost the mandate.
But when Alicent explains that his last wish was that Aegon be king, and she starts talking about the prince that was promised, that's when Rhaenyra realizes that Viserys was talking about the prophecy.
It's a story he once told about Aegon the Conqueror. That story and what she's told herself has given her such strength. This just throws Alicent's world into complete chaos. There's been a mistake. There's been no mistake. Please.
Rulers can exploit prophecy, either knowingly or unknowingly, to see through their power and their influence over the realm.
A terrible war is looming, and even victory may be so bloody as to be counted a loss. Do not let your pride blind you. There's been no mistake.
Rhaenyra does not get what she wants. It's not because Alicent's unwilling to hear it, it's simply because Alicent is saying, my power has been stripped away. Even if she wanted to do something, she feels like her hands are tied.
It's too late, Rhaenyra. Alicent.
That causes her to have to reckon finally with going to war, and suddenly she chooses her title. She doesn't just inherit it.
Alicent and Rhaenyra are both affected by what they have lost and the history that they have with each other. You don't forget it. So the rest of the season is about embracing reality.